everybody, welcome to your webinar on everything discounting and prorating. So for this one, I have it broken down into 3 different parts for you. So in part 1, we're going to go over your tuition billing settings, discount rules, your prorating, your tuition fee settings, and then for the second part, we are going to go into the actual posting of your tuition fees and having a look at your preview. And then while we're on your preview, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks for troubleshooting. So be just a moment while I get into my database. From your executive dashboard, you will come over here to your gear icon, settings, tuition and discounting. So one thing to note is that I do already have a lot of things already set up in mine. So I'll just kind of go over what I do have set up and explain all of the different features for you. So just starting from the very top, we're going to go down the entire list. So first is to manage your billing settings. So how do you bill your tuition? Do you bill by class fee or by your total number of hours? You can use a combination of both, which is what I do have done. And from here, you're going to actually go in and edit your fee schedule. So I'll just show you what that looks like. So this is how I have mine set up. So for 1 hour of classes, it's $50. If they take 2 hours of classes, my discount kind of builds in. So it's like $10 off. So it would be a fee of $90. 3 classes is $130. One tip here is that your last line should be a really high number for your total hours, just in case you do have somebody say that is taking more than 6. So you just put in, I added 100 hours, but my max amount is 190. If you want it to add another row, if you need to edit it, you would just click right here to add a fee row. And then next we have, when does your billing cycle start? And you can check all that do apply. So you can have your billing cycle every week, and you could choose the day of the week, every month. That is my default, and I've got it for the 1st. If you want, you could have it by your entire session date. So you're just posting once for the entire session. Or you can also have custom every 4 weeks beginning on, and I've got just June the 7th. And what I have done set up in mine is that all of my camps for this summer, I am going to be running them every 4 weeks. I'll just come out of this right here. And then as well, below that, you'll see managing your discount rules. So your tuition discount rules define your multi-class and/or, because you can have a combination, your multi-student discounts, and they can be assigned either to a class or to a family. So for today, we're just only going to be talking about assigning the discount rule to a class. So I'm just going to come here to manage rules. So you can see right here, I have all of these different rules already set up. I can click on the little eyeball icon if I want it. And this is just going to preview the rule. Right here, it defaults to 100. But for example, if your main fee is $70, then you could put that in there, and it just lets you easily see what your rule should calculate like. And if you wanted to make an edit to a rule, you could just simply come in here and edit it, and make sure to save your changes if you make any changes. So let's add a new rule, everybody. So I'm going to call this rule Summer Camp 2021. And I'm going to set it to be a combination of both. So you can see once I click on something, then my next box is going to open it up. And this is a really good help so that you're not kind of getting in there and getting overwhelmed. So my eligibility, do I give both discounts, or do I only give the multi-class discount when the multi-student doesn't apply? So I'm just going to say give both. I'm feeling very generous right now. So my organization is set to count my classes per student. So it's going to add up classes for my student, that number, and then calculate the discount there. And the next question is, how should the multi-class discount be applied? So use the discount rate listed for each class Or do I want to add up all of the classes and use the discount rate listed for the total number of classes? So I'm just going to come here and I'm just going to say for each class, you can either give a dollar amount discount or a percentage. If you can't, we recommend using percentages. Sometimes if you put in a dollar amount, you might end up getting a negative amount for your total, which would be you actually giving your family a credit versus charging them for tuition. So I'm just going to say percentage. So for class 1, I'm not giving a discount. And I'm just going to say for every additional class, let's say for 2, it's going to be 5. 3, it'll be 5. And then once they get up there, I'm just going to say 10, 10, 10, 10, oopsie, 10. And then right here, if I needed to add another one, so if I wanted to have more than 10 classes, if I wanted to have 11, I could add that there. And then in what order would you like to apply the discount? So the highest tuition gets the lowest discount, or the lowest tuition gets the lowest discount. Most often, you're going to want it to be the highest tuition gets the lowest discount. So say, for example, I have a class that is $100 and I have another class that is $50. So if my student is in 2 classes, then the discount will be on the $100 class. So the $100 class would get the 5% discount, and then the $50 class would get the 10% discount. I'm just going to check this here. And then again, how do I want to calculate? So do I want it on my student, like I just said, or do I want to add up all of the students in the family and then use that discount for the total number of students per family? So let's just say, for example, I have 2 siblings. They are each taking 2 classes. So if I had it set up for student, then each student is going to get a 5% discount on their second class. If I have it set to family, then that is going to give me a total of 4, which means that then they would start getting that they would get the 10% discount, versus the 5 like they would if it was only calculating 2 and 2. I'm just going to keep that to student. Oh, and I'm going to say percentage. And no, I do not want to give this discount to students with 1 family. And then again, I'm just going to say 2% here. 2, 2, 2, and 2. And then again, what order would I like to give it? So I'm going to say the highest tuition gets the lowest discount. And then when do you want the multi-student discount to be applied? So do you want it to be applied to the original amount, or do you want it to be applied after the multi-class discount has been deducted? So I am going to say this because that will, at the end of the day, give me more money. And then click on my preview. I can see here for a $100 class how it looks for 1 student taking 1 class. It's $100. If my student is taking 2 classes, it's $95. And then you can see here, and then once I get into my multiple students, what it looks like. So that's that 2% discount, and then my $93.10, and then it just goes on that way. And again, like I showed just a second ago, if you need to, you can always change that amount up top, but it does default to 100. So next, I'm just going to come back up here and click on Save My Changes. And now you can see, so my summer camp is there. It is currently not assigned to any classes, and I will show you how to take care of that in a little bit. And then next we have update your total hours discount settings. So technically, yes, when you do use a total hours and your fee schedule, you're kind of building in your discount, but you may still want to give a multi-student discount for those families as well. So you just come in here and add this in, and then that will show up when you go to post your tuition fees. And then next we have your prorating options. So when a student enrolls after the billing cycle has started, Jackrabbit will determine how many classes are left in that billing cycle and prorate accordingly. So one thing to note with prorating is that it does it based on their being for Mondays, for Tuesdays, in every single month. So using the $100 as an example, each Monday would have a value of $25. So I'm just going to show you even more about that. So we do have a lot of different prorating options. So the very first one being, do you prorate, yes or no? And just to let you know, if you select no, then all of these are grayed out for you. So I'm just going to update that to yes. You have the option to prorate on a closed date. So for example, if you are closed for Memorial Day, it would take into account that that day you are closed and you're not going to charge your families. So I do have closed dates in my database, so I'm going to set that to yes. When tuition is prorated, do you also prorate the discount? So on your multi-class, your multi-family, or your multi-student discounts. So I'm going to say no on that. And then when using the billing method of by class fee, do you charge extra when a class meets more than the standard number of days in the monthly billing cycle? So depending on how you have your organization set up and what your rules are in general, that would depend how you want that set up. So I am going to say yes. So some months, for example, there could be 5 Mondays. So that month, my student going based off $100, they would be charged $125 for the class. I'm still open. I still have to pay to be open. I still have to pay my instructors. So that is the reasoning behind charging that. And I'm just, gonna come back here. And next we have your tuition fee setting. So this is how you manage how and when your tuition fees are posted to your customer accounts. So I'm just going to show that for you very quickly. You'll notice here I do have some things missing, some billing cycles on my classes, so it does give you a little alert there. So that's absolutely fine. So how do you want to post tuition when a student enrolls during web registration, quick registration, or via the enroll buttons, links, or the parent portal? So basically, any time that somebody is enrolling into a class, how do you want it to post? You have the option to not post tuition, post full tuition, ignoring any discount rules. You can post your discounted tuition using your discounted rules, post prorated tuition based on your prorating options, and you can post your discounted and prorated tuition, which is what I am going to change that to. And then how do you want your multi-class discounts to calculate when people are enrolling? So do you allow your multi-class discount to be counted across different sessions? So right now for my summer, I'm running different sessions. I have got that unchecked. Do you allow your multi-class discount to be counted across different category 1 values? I have that selected to yes, only because I have some of my classes have a category 1 value of ballet and some have a category 1 value of tumbling, but I want all of those classes to count. And then also allow your multi-class discounts to be counted across different discount rules. So do you want it to pull in for all of the rules or have them separated out? And then next we have your total hour setting. So how do you count your hours when you're posting? So by student or by family. And then it gives you a little link there to get back to your discounts for your multi-students. And again, how do you want to post tuition when a student enrolls during registration? So either you can have it to not post using your fee schedule with your multi-student discounts with no prorating, or with prorating. And I'm just going to change that to with prorating. And then again, how do you want to count hours? Do you want it to count across your sessions and or your category 1 values? So I'm just going to return out of this. So as you can see, there's a ton of different options and ways that you can set up for your rules, and they're really, really specific. No two organizations are going to be posting fees and have all the same discount rules. So it's really good to get in here, play around, have a look at any rules that you set up and use that preview. So now on to part 2. We are now going to get in and post tuition fees en masse to a group of families. You'll just come here to transactions. post tuition fees. I do not have a favorite set up just because I want to go through all of the settings with you. It does default right now to post by class fee. I do have class fee and total hours selected. If I didn't have class fee selected, if I was only using total hours, then just total hours would show. But you do have to post separately for by class fee and by total hours if you are using both. And then next, post tuition to my classes with this billing cycle. So same thing, I've got different billing cycles that I'm using. So I have my monthly billing cycle that I'm using, my weekly, and my custom. So again, you do have to come in and post for each of those separately. So I'm just going to stick with my monthly. And then what is my billing cycle start date? I'm going to go with June 1st, and I want it to post on June 1st. And then now I can choose which sessions that I want it to post to. So I still have some active sessions going that I haven't archived. So I want to make sure that I'm only posting to my summer classes. So I'm going to, actually, no, I'm going to, June. Yeah, I need to post to these. Sorry. Post to that one and to that one. Post to that one and to that one and to this one. So you just need to hold down your control or your command key, but it's not pulling in anything for that fall 2020 session. You can post to only certain category ones if you want. I want to post to everybody, and then use these tuition discount rules. So I am going to select all of them just because I know a lot of my classes do have one or more of these rules in there. So I'm just going to check that. And then next, your family criteria. So if you wanted to come in and only post to one family, you could do that. If you only want to post to a certain location, you could do that as well. You can select your membership type. So you can see right here. So if I want to post it to my annual kids, I have people set up as just monthly, quarterly, semestered. So I'm just going to leave that blank to pull everybody in. Same thing. If I have a certain e-payment schedule, if I allow people to post and pay first of the month and the 15th of the month, you can do that. I have 2 family discount rules happening for my competition teams and my military families. I could pull those in as well. So I'm just going to leave that blank right now. And then next we have your additional settings. So do you want to post tuition to your active classes only? Yes. Post tuition to students with an enrolled type of trial. So people that were in a trial that are now enrolled. People that were waitlisted and that are now enrolled. Do you want to prorate your tuition for future enrollments during the billing cycle? So that example would be if I'm posting for June 1st, but I've got somebody that's future enrolled for June 15th. So yes, I do want them to pull in. And same thing for a drop. I've got somebody dropping on the 10th. So I want it to prorate. I don't want to charge them for the entire month of June if they're only going to be able to attend, say, one class, for example. And then do I want to include all classes when calculating my multi-class discounts? I'm just actually going to leave that one off only because I don't want my summer camp classes to pull in for everything. And then we've got your transaction type automatically defaults on this page to your tuition fee. You can add a subtype here. So I use my months. I could add a note if I want it. So next we have your additional discount. You can either offer a dollar amount or a percentage amount. And this would apply blanketly over everything right at the end. So after everything else is pulled in, it will give this extra discount once all of your other discount rules have come in. So a good example of this is, let's just say, for example, you're getting your gym floors done and you're going to be shut down for 2 weeks in June. So instead of going in and changing your rules, changing your tuition fees, you can send out an email to everybody and say, hey, we're going to be closed for 2 weeks in June. I'm giving everybody a 50% discount. And you can even label it so that way when you're going back through, you can recognize why your tuition was discounted. And then next we have your advanced detection. So duplicate detection, do you want it to match on your student's class, category 1 or transaction subtype? And as well, do you want to detect drop student fees? So for right now, I am just going to click on this, I'm just gonna check my dates. So this would be in case I came in and manually post it for somebody. Check it for June. And now we are going to preview. So let's just go through everything on your preview page, everybody. So the big thing you're gonna wanna look at is that first block. So tuition fees, your duplicate detection fees, how many transactions you have, how many duplicate transactions I have, the number of families I'm posting to, number of students, and my number of classes. So a really good tip here is that if you know you should have had 100 classes pull in and you've only got 55, that lets you know right away, like, okay, I got to go back. I missed something. Maybe I didn't select a session that I wanted to select. So the very first thing you will notice is that all of my duplicates do pull in yellow. And it gives me the option to uncheck all of my duplicates, or I can keep them checked. So I just might need to probably go back, have a look at that family, see what fees were posted, why they were posted, that as well. So you'll notice here, like for Diane and Dave, they do have they pulled in because they were a student fixed fee. So I may have already enrolled them in a class for June and it pulled in that fixed fee. And then same thing with Spencer. I may have enrolled him in new classes and already posted his fee. So you want to come down and go through this and just have a look. It's a good practice to keep some families in mind that, like are taking a lot of classes, that have, multiple students, to come in and check this, especially the very first time that you're setting up a new fee. You want to make sure that everything is working correctly. So let's just have a quick look at Maya. So Maya takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maya takes 7 classes, but you will notice not all of her classes have that multi-class discount. So you may be wondering, like, why is it pulling in for some classes? Why is it not? So first thing you would want to check is just have a look and see if Maya is in different sessions and if they have different discount rules. So you can see here, I've got the summer 2021 session, but these classes, this advanced tumbling and advanced beam, they have no discount. So Maya is not going to get her multi-class discount based on those classes. And then next we get into the spring 2021 session of classes, and I've got some here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 competition team classes. So you'll see her first competition team class doesn't have a discount. The next 2 do have a discount. And then back with summer, she's got some classes here, but again, those are set to have no discount. Next, I'm just going to show you this class right here. So now this one, we've got a June, and we've got a prorated class. So if you're not totally sure, this little I for more information is your best friend. So you can see my tuition fee on this class, $62.50. My cost per class, remember I used the example of $100 because it was easy to divide by 4, but Jackrabbit does it for you. So my cost per class is $12.50. It shows my billing cycle start date. It shows the days of the week that my class meets. And then it says this student can attend 1 of 5 classes in this billing cycle. So my base tuition was $50. It charges extra because there is an extra Wednesday in June, but then it also prorates for all of these dates as well. And then this one here. So Maya can only attend that one class, and Maya's only going to be charged for just that one class. And then I purposely did this here. So I've got 3 negative tuition fees that were calculated and listed in red. And like I explained before, this happens when the discount is greater than the original fee. So I'm gonna scroll down here so you can see my example. So right here, you can see this student, because of all of the different discounts that they have and the amount of my class was $62.50, but their total number of discounts is actually $75. This would give them a $12.50 credit. So again, this little I is going to be your best friend if you're trying to figure out what you did wrong and troubleshoot like what happened with your discounts. Why is it giving everybody a credit? So you can see my base fee was $50. It did pull in to charge the extra amount, but my multi-class discount on this one, so I've got prorating pulled in, so it's pulling off $25 for prorated dates based on my class end date. But then I had this multi-class discount of $50. So that's where that credit of $12.50 comes in. So if you see that, you just need to go back out, check your settings, and then close this as well. If you want it to, just say, for example, you didn't want to change your settings for whatever reason, you can always come over here to the far right and uncheck somebody if you did not want to post their fees. And that is it. So that is everything involved with your discounting and your prorating, everybody. So I do just have one quick last thing to show you. So I said to you earlier when we set up your rule that my rule wasn't assigned to any of my classes. So in order to assign that rule to my classes, I would just come up here to my classes, edit all, and I'm just going to select that summer camp session. Submit, and then I can, oopsie, sorry, class fee, yes, it's still custom, but I want to add this summer camp session here, yes, and then save changes. One thing to note when you are on this all classes page, if you have say 300 or 400 classes, you're going to want to make sure that you click on the show all. I only have 16 in the session, so it doesn't even show that. And then I would just need to save my changes. So just remember, if you are getting in there and you're not really sure what to do, we have a ton of resources for you. So you can get to this screen just by clicking on that question mark in your top right-hand corner. Everything in green, those are options that you have for yourself. So you can get in and use our help center. You can get right to all of our great YouTube videos, our staff training options, and as well, we have a direct link for your e-payment resources. And then on the bottom, those are options where our support team can help you. And we have 3 options for that. You're able to submit a ticket. So that is if it's something really long and you're not totally sure what to do. If you're setting up a discounting and prorating and you send in a ticket for support, a really good tip would be to either send them a link to your website with your tuition on it or break down all of your tuition and your discounts, whether or not you prorate. If it's just something really quick, shoot in a live chat. Support does have the ability to get in and see, even if you ran a preview, we can go in and have a look and kind of work through it with you as well that way. And also there's always the option to request a call. So if you want somebody to walk through it with you over a Zoom, absolutely, that is a-okay. For help with trying to decide like, oh, what should I get for discounts? Or, you want to reach out to other like-minded organizations, you can connect with us through our Facebook users group. So just on Facebook, just search Jackrabbit users group and you will find us and we will let you in. And that's a great resource for you to bounce ideas and see what other people in your industry are currently doing. And that's it, everybody. Bye.